Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, and I'm bringing you the first of several single game sets that I'll be casting for the rest of this week from the Pro League. I just finished SKT versus Hwasong Oz, and those should be uploading shortly. And this is going to be Luxury and Effort. In the ZVZ on outside, we're going to have Luxury, aka Practice, at the 6 o'clock position in blue, and Effort at the 12 o'clock position in orange. This is between KT and CJ Entis. So I'm going to apologize, well, not apologize, but I'm just going to let you know that chances are at some point during this game they're going to flash who's winning in terms of CJ versus KT on top. Obviously this is the fourth set, so obviously someone's winning 2-1. Yeah, there it is. So if you don't want to know that, you should look away and maybe come back later after you watch the previous games or on John747, or I don't think the other games have been casted yet by anyone as far as I can tell. So if you want to do something like that and come back, or if you don't care, just watch this and enjoy, because this should be an absolutely brilliant ZVZ. In my opinion, these are the number 2 and number 3 ZVZers in the world behind Jaedong. Luxury has looked absolutely brilliant at the beginning of the season after slumping for so long last season, but for a long time even last season, he was still very good at the ZVZ matchup. And he just lost to Jaedong so consistently. I think Jaedong had something like a 9-2 record, or maybe even better than that record against Luxury. But then Luxury would win like 75% of his games against everyone else. So Luxury is still very, very good at that matchup, 63%, and he's really dominant. And he's going for a 9-pool build here with gas, so he's going to be going for a speed link. And Effort is absolutely brilliant at this matchup as well. He's 66%. He's played a lot less games. Luxury is close to 100 games ZVZ, and Effort is just about at 50. I believe this will be his 50th game ZVZ. But he's at 66%, winning 2/3 of his game. Very, very good. Looks like Effort there went for a 12-pool with gas. So he's definitely going to have a build order advantage here. It's not a build or win. It's not like 9-pool speed link versus 12 hatch, but it's definitely an advantage for Effort. And we'll see what he decides to do and how he's going to try and take advantage of this. Neither player is actually going to be able to get an early scout on the other player, so I don't think Effort knows that he has this build order advantage. Looks like he is going to be going for a hatchery as a natural expansion, so I think that was a 12-pool, 11 gas, and maybe a 13 hatch, I believe is how his build went. Didn't watch his eggs that closely, didn't see how many drones he produced, but that is my suspicion that that's what the build he went for. And it looks like Luxury spending his first 100 gas there on a lair, and also sending out his Zerglings right now, his first 6 Zerglings. I'm going to head over to Effort's base. They're going to see that hatchery, but because Effort did go for that 12 pool, he should be able to get 6 Zerglings out in time to defend against this, and they should be popping any second now. Probably that next egg is also going to be Zerglings as well, because he did go for that hatchery. He knows that he might be behind a little bit on Zerglings, and he sees the Zerglings now, and he's going to be there in time to defend. I don't think a couple drones coming off as well to help, and Luxury's trying to press this, but he only has 6 Zerglings, and his reinforcement route is much longer. Effort pulling off 3 drones to defend, and he knows that he can get away with this because he went for a 12 pool versus a 9 pool. He knows the timing of this, knows that it was a 12 pool, so he knows that by pulling 3 drones, he still has an equivalent number, or very close to an equivalent number of drones mining as Luxury does, so he's not falling behind at all here. So this is a huge advantage right now for Effort. He protects that hatchery, and he's definitely in a good spot here. His lair might be a little bit late, but I'm sure this is a build that he's practiced out, so he knows the timing and knows how he's going to be able to defend against probably what will be somewhat earlier Mutalisk from Luxury. And we saw this a lot last season when ZVZ matchups were so popular. We saw Effort and Jaedong really like to go for this build, where they try to get that second hatchery up and running, and they would throw down a spore colony at each of their bases, and then get up to Scourge and Mutalisk, and they would have a gas advantage. So if they can get those spore colonies up, time them correctly, and really defend well, they are in absolute great shape in the air battle because they will have that second gas. And it looks like Luxury is going to produce a pretty nice looking arc, at least for the most part. It's a pretty, it's pretty decent. It's a good enough arc to defend the top of his ramp, and Effort placing his Zerglings at the bottom of Luxury's ramp and kind of boxing him in. So Luxury's probably not really going to be able to push out until he gets his initial Mutalisk out, and we haven't seen whether he's thrown down a second hatchery inside of his base or not, or whether this is just going to be a true 1-hatch Mutalisk build. Yeah, this is going to be a normal 1-hatch Mutalisk build, not going to see the 2-hatch that we saw from, I believe, Hyuk and Jaedong, I think, both went for, yeah, Hyuk and Jaedong went for the 2-hatch in one base. Mutalisk build, but this is all one off of one for Luxury, and he's going to get those Mutalisks out as fast as he can. Evolution Chamber going down already for Effort, so I think he's got this timed out very, very well. This is a highly practiced build for him. I've seen him do this many, many times. I think Luxury is probably, or I'm sorry, Effort is probably going to lose that Overlord eventually once Luxury's Mutalisk pop. He'll have all the time in the world to go and take that down whenever he's in the mood. We see the creep colonies already being placed, 2 at the main, 1 at the natural, very, very well placed within the mineral lines, but not blocking any of his minerals. So as I said, this is a very, very practiced game by Effort, and you can just tell by this isn't a spontaneous creep colonies going down like you sometimes see from players when they fall behind a little bit. They don't always place their creep colonies especially well, but Effort is placing them excellently, and Luxury taking his drones off of gas. Taking drones off of gas, that is huge, and it also looks like, actually the second Spore colony was placed at the natural as well, but it looks like Effort has retreated his Zerglings back to his base, and he might be morphling yet another creep colony there, possibly for a sunken, or maybe a third Spore colony as natural. I think that's probably going to end up being a sunken, though, just to defend against possible Luxury's possible Zergling attack. And it looks like Luxury's also going to try to take his second base here. He's going to be much later though. Recognize that Luxury has to do damage with these early Mutals. Absolutely has to. We're going to see what kind of damage he can do here. He's going to pick off one drone here, taking a couple shots from that Spore, but overall doing a pretty good job. And now he's going to go to the main. Going to see a couple more Spore colonies. Actually not going to engage there. But he's not in a very good spot here. Effort coming in with a bunch of Zerglings, and that's going to force Luxury to come back home with his Mutalist, and that gives Luxury that much more time with which to produce his own Mutalist and get his base up and running. And now Effort's actually probably going to be able to take down Luxury's... no, he's not, actually. The Mutalists come back in time and are going to be able to take down those Zerglings, so Effort's not going to be able to take down Luxury's hatchery or anything, but definitely puts a Luxury a little bit on the back foot, and I absolutely love this maneuver by Effort. This is just beautiful when it works. I'm sorry, that was not a creep colony. That was the Spire. I assume that the Spire was at the main. Actually, the Spire was placed at the natural for Effort.